excuse me.
Good way to start. I mean, we were live for that.
So. Oh, were we?
Yeah. Nice and live for that one.
Fife going 12-4 in his pick'ems.
It's good to be back, yeah.
Oh, I can't hear the music.
We are back.
We're back. Not as rough of a start, but yeah, we're adjusting, getting back in the groove. But we're here.
Getting better again.
Still feels good to be here.
It does. It always feels good to be here. It always feels good to be here, and yeah, you're good.
Scooch the butt.
You good? Yeah. So, fucking it is week 3 already. How are we at week 3 already? That's insane.
But every football season's like this, right? Like you sit there, like between fantasy.
It's the one game a week thing. I think that's the thing people take for granted in other sports. Like basketball, you get 2 or 3 games a week. Hockey, you get 2 or 3 games a week. Baseball, you're getting 6 games a week, sometimes 7 games a week. So it's easy to go, I'll catch tomorrow's game.
Yeah.
Not as, what was the highlights? But for like football, because it's still, rephrase this. I was going to say 1 day a week. It's still a week long.
Yeah, it's 4 out of your 7 days.
It's too long. Football. I got to be honest. Because by the time you get to last night, you got 2 Monday night games. You got I gotta be honest, I'm not paying attention to everything.
Oh, I shut the 10 o'clock game off at halftime. I was done. I couldn't.
You know what I mean?
And there was fantasy implications for me, and I just couldn't stay awake for it. I'm like, it was my night with the baby too. So like, if I stayed up and watched that game, it's like 12:30, 1 a.m. I'm going to bed, and then if you're lucky. And then when she does wake up, it's usually between like 3 and 4 a.m. And I'm like, I gotta try and get her back down and get back to bed. And I'm like, I can't. I won't survive the day tomorrow if I do that. So, shut it off at halftime and went to bed. But, it's. I mean, you're guaranteed 3 days a week, right? Thursday, Sunday, Monday, guaranteed. Week 1, we had Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday. So that was 4 days out of the week. So I mean, 7 out of the first 14 days of the season, like we had football. And you really don't get,
I still mainly consider Sundays football.
Sunday is the football day. Saturday is the college football day.
Well, plus, by now, too, like, the Thursday night game's on Prime. The Friday night game's on YouTube. It's too, like, I know where to tune in and watch a Giant game. You know what I mean? Like, I know where to tune in and watch Red Zone. That's about all I need. I don't need 57 other networks in order to watch a game. I gotta be honest, that's where it takes me out of it a little bit. But the games this weekend, some of them, like ours, which I gotta be honest with you, as much as I want to be upset about the game, because I said to you for 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks, that this is a game that the Giants could steal. Ever since that Parsons trade, I had my eyes circled, and I'm like, they could steal this game, they could steal this game, they could steal this game. And at one point, people want to, want to say, I put the kibosh on them or whatever. I'm the guy who, put the jinx on them. But when Neighbors cooked up...
He got the... That guy really wanted to talk about Jonathan Taylor and interrupt Eric talking about the Cowboys-Giants game.
No, but I mean, the Cowboy-Giant game, what else can I ask for? Well, I texted in a bunch of group chats, and I'm in the, different various friends and whatnot. When was the last time I can't remember the last time I watched Giants put up over 30 points and look exciting. It looked exciting. Now, I'm sorry that the defense, did what they could, but to be honest, when you hold them in overtime, you should, if you get a second possession, be able to get a field goal. You didn't get it. Instead, Russ on the second possession lobs up an interception and cost us the game. Now, unfortunately, I can't put it all on Russ because he had one of the greatest games of his career. So he
literally had the greatest game of his career.
Yardage-wise. Yeah. But still, like, he left it out there. I give him the credit for that. So I can't put the loss on them because this isn't a game they were supposed to win anyway.
No, and
it's not a game they were going to win. So that being said, I look at it as they fought hard, keep fighting hard. Be the tryhards this year.
You watch that game, and I mean, the Giants' offense looked unbelievable. Dallas, I texted you about it on a Sunday. Like you get beat once, I'll put it on the player. You get beat twice, I'll split the blame. By the third time, that's on the coaches, right? Like, you've got to realize that that's what Russell Wilson's looking for is the deep ball. The biggest issue for the Giants is creating big plays. It's been that for a while. So what do you do to force the Giants or put the Giants in a position to lose is you have to make them work their way down the field. And instead, Dallas's defense coordinator was like, no, we'll just keep running cover 3 and we'll just let them blow past us. Right? Like, it's bad calling, it's bad execution, blame all around on the defense. I mean, Dallas coming out of week 2, now all the week 2 games are done, top 5 in offensive efficiency, bottom 5 in defensive efficiency. Like,
so you're saying
more than anything, I want better execution.
I don't know what you're saying.
I want better fucking execution.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I think that's what I need to do is I need to leave him here. Because then if I play something, at least
It'll work for both, right?
Work for both.
But like, it was very frustrating at times watching that game, especially when Dallas was on the defensive side of the ball, because if you played more of a shell coverage, like Euphrlis or whatever his name is, the former Bears head coach, like
Eberflus,
Eberflus, ever out the door. But like my man, like legitimately, like adjust your scheme, play a shell coverage, keep everything in front of you. I don't know if that was communicated and the players didn't execute, or it just was like, no, we're gonna be good. We're not gonna get beat a second time by Wan'Dale Robinson running up the seam. We're not gonna get beat a third time by Wan'Dale Robinson up the seam. We're not going to get beat a fourth time by Malik Neighbors running down. Like, oh my God. It was beyond frustrating. And like last week, right, we talked about just as confident, more confident, less confident. Like, I became less confident after that game, even though it was a win, where I became more confident after week 1 when it was a loss. And that tells you what I saw. It basically says Dallas, if they're going to win games, if they're going to make the playoffs, they're going to have to win shootouts. And the Micah Parsons effect was so blatantly obvious in week 2 against the Giants, not being able to generate consistent pressure. And it was just, God help me. And Brandon Aubrey is the MVP of the Dallas Cowboys, especially coming out of that game. Help swing my fantasy matchup in our big money league. So thanks to him, I also got the win there. Now 2-0 in that league. But the Giants were entertaining. It was an entertaining game. 41 points scored in the fourth quarter. I think 4 different lead changes in the fourth quarter. So overall, it was an entertaining game. And like you said, as a Giants fan, yes, that was a game that you should have had, right? You scored a touchdown with 25 seconds left. Like, you'd like to think, hey, we've got this game. But when your opponent has a kicker like Aubrey who can make a 64-yard field goal and do it where you probably could have backed him up 5 or 6 more yards and he probably still would have hit that field goal, like, it's a weapon, right? And special teams were proven all weekend long how important they are. Like, I don't know how much deeper you want to go into the Cowboys-Giants game, but just talking special teams, like, did you see what happened in that Pittsburgh game?
No. Go ahead, tell me.
Where Seattle kicks off the ball to Pittsburgh, and the resulting kickoff led to a touchdown for Seattle.
Didn't see that one.
Dude, let the ball bounce. He just touched it. And since he touched it and it kept going backwards, Seattle recovers it in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. So you know they talk about,
so
like,
he muffed the punt. He fumbled the punt.
Yeah, but punts you can't move forward.
No, but it went back.
It has to. So he let it go all, like, he would have been better off.
But to go take it to the Giant game, that happened in the Giant game where Russ got hit as he was throwing, but because the ball was thrown backwards, it was actually Scadaboo and his hustle that was able to get to that ball and get it out of bounds.
Yeah.
But that was it. Like, if that didn't happen, that ball was backwards. That's a fumble.
Yeah.
And that's
we've always known a backwards pass is not considered. Is something that is considered still a live ball for the defense.
But I would think fumble wise it means the same. You can't advance it forward, but it can go back.
As a returner, though, How do you just stand there?
If you know the ball touched you as a returner, why wouldn't you just dive on it? Like, you know that it's alive. Like,
It bounced, and then like it ricocheted off his hand and kept flying past him, and he just stood there. Like, if you're Mike Tomlin, how does that guy ever touch the field again?
it probably doesn't.
Like, the only way I'll have you on the field is special teams coverage. Like, you're going to tackle somebody for me. I am not trusting you with the ball. So that was a huge play because you're talking, teams all the time, right? If they're receiving the second half kickoff, they try to get the ball to end the first half, get that back-to-back score. Seattle scored, kicked off the ball to exchange possession, and then scored again.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen that before. It was just crazy.
The crazier thing to me about that game, and we can move on to the Seattle Pittsburgh game. The crazier game to me is the fact that Seattle pretty much had their way after the way Week 1 looked for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Rodgers had a hell of a Week 1. He's fist pumping. He's doing this, doing that, throwing 4 TDs or whatever the hell he threw. Trying to make the Jets look bad. And then comes out and the hell did he do this game? Not a whole hell of a lot.
No. Rodgers, he didn't play horribly. The biggest issue for Pittsburgh was they couldn't run the damn ball. But, 18 for 33 is not good. But when you bring in Rodgers,
Rodgers doesn't want to run the ball anyway. He could have had a good running game last year with the Jets. He didn't want to have it.
Yeah.
You run the Rodgers offense, unfortunately.
You throw 2 picks. You barely break 50% completion percentage. Sack 3 times, losing 20 yards.
Ran at 14. 33.
But yeah, you're talking 21 carries for 72 yards. It's less than 3.5 yards a carry. Like, that's rough. But where was the balance that you saw? But more importantly, I saw the other day the Steelers through 2 games have not forced a single punt. This is supposed to be one of the better defenses in the league, and they haven't forced a single punt.
It's the Rodgers effect.
How does Rodgers affect the defense? You gotta make a stop.
He affects every corner of that locker room. I gotta be honest.
I think he's a cancer at this point.
I think that's what it is. Unfortunately, and I hate to say that because he's one of the greats, but at the same time, he name a great Rodgers team since 2012. I can't.
You can't. The last team he even had that made had a good playoff run was a team that lost to Seattle in Seattle when they couldn't recover the onside kick that Seattle kicked, right? And ever since then, again, not many players, if any players in the history of the NFL, throw a prettier ball than Aaron Rodgers. But Aaron Rodgers, to me, is a guy I would not want on my team. I would not want in my locker room. And just not somebody that I want playing quarterback for me at this point of his career. That's probably the best way to say it.
Well, that's a great transition to our next game because we got to at least mention this because the loss of him is a massive loss.
Massive.
And if you have to go with the guy that they have right now backing up for a significant part of the season, this 2-0 start's probably going to get wasted. And I'm talking about Joe Burrow going down, needing foot surgery, out, 3 months? And Jake Browning comes in. They get a late score. They beat the Jags, but didn't look great doing it. And I got to be honest, if the Bengals are relying on Jake Browning, when you got weapons like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and they've got an offense. They've got no driver right now. And Jake Browning to me isn't the driver. He's not the replacement, and I don't know who they get or what they bring in or what trade they try to make or something.
A lot of people are saying they should go after Kirk Cousins, but Cousins will die behind that offensive line.
I've seen Giant fans out there saying that they should trade Russell to him.
Russell, even Jameis Winston.
No, I'm not letting Winston go because you got him for 2 years and you need somebody to back up Dart next year.
I just want Winston in New York because of the media. I love Jameis. He's a national treasure. That man needs to go into commentating when he retires. But look, Jake Browning, I think, started 7 games for the Bengals last year. And I believe he went 3-4 or 4-3. I bet you if you click on there, they'll probably reference what he did last year as their starter. But he did lead them on a game-winning touchdown drive to put them at 2-0, which was really impressive. And he is a guy that has starter experience. But yeah, obviously you're not going to take him over Burrow, and you're probably not going to take him over a lot of quarterbacks in this league. But overall, like, he does have starting experience. He's played alongside Higgins. He's played alongside Jamar Chase. He's played with Brown, the running back. Like, so he knows the team. The team knows him. Like, and I don't think this is a scenario where I don't think I'm ready to say that they're going to waste the 2-0 start. It's a matter of, can he keep the ship afloat until Burrow comes back? Because they're going to keep Burrow out until he's completely healthy. They're too invested in him for the long term to not do that. But I do think you're in a position that you just have to say to yourself, like, can we keep it alive? Can we run the ball? And the problem more than anything, if I'm Cincinnati, is we're not a good defense. And the defense is where you'd expect the slack to be picked up, right? Get the extra possessions, right? Force a couple turnovers.
If you don't have a good defense, you're not going to get those.
And you're not going to get that. So I don't think it goes to waste, but I definitely think their opportunity to compete in the AFC North with Baltimore really, really drops dramatically. But I'll guarantee you they're a lot more happier that Baltimore lost to Buffalo and Pittsburgh lost to Seattle this past Sunday to keep that division tight as you progress through the rest of the season. But that's a big blow, man. There was a lot of injuries this week.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of big injuries. You also had J.J. McCarthy go down with Minnesota. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I don't think he looked very good anyway against Atlanta on Sunday night. So, okay, maybe that, another team, right? Are you Minnesota? Do you call Atlanta and say, hey, like, we'll take Kirk back. Like, we know we can play with Kirk, right? Like, we know we can rock with him. Like, do you do something like that? Do you just kind of chalk it up and you keep moving forward with what you have? They also just had to put Aaron Jones Sr. He's gone on IR for 4 weeks with a hamstring injury. I think their starting left tackle could miss a week or two. Like, Minnesota got demolished by Atlanta, not only in the score, but also when it comes down to the repercussions of that game. That's really going to hurt Minnesota, and I don't think any of us went into this year thinking they were winning 13, 14 games again, but definitely thought they could be a team fighting for a wild card spot. And these early injuries are going to be hard to hold a spot.
They're
in that
definitely not
race.
the team they were last year. They were a one and done, unfortunately. I mean, this division is the Lions and the Packers to lose. I mean, you look at it, and you look at what the Bears are doing. They stink. I don't care if Ben Johnson's leading them or Eberflus is leading them or whoever they bring in next is going to lead them. Caleb Williams, they won't develop because they can't develop. I don't care. It is a Bear thing. It is.
Oh my God. Annie Anger?
Yeah.
Annie Anger, she does that week 2 recap thing where she does like the video clips and she's each one. So she did one for the Bears. And her one for the Bears, she straight up was like, look. It's not Caleb Williams, but Ben Johnson is going to draft our next quarterback, and the coach that comes in after Ben Johnson is going to develop that guy. And I thought of you so quickly. That's why I sent that in. I sent it into our Dudes League chat, because I specifically wanted you to watch that one moment, because all I could think about was you being like, yeah, like, the meme of Leonardo DiCaprio on the couch and he's like doing that. Like, I saw you,
because it's what I've been preaching for 2 years now. I mean, they stink, but the Lions don't. Whether they have Ben Johnson running the offense or not, 52 points this week. They showed Ben Johnson, listen, we're good without you, bud. We're good. So, I mean, absolutely one hell of a week for the Lions. I mean, 5 touchdowns for Goff, 3 to St. Brown.
Yeah, I had him. I have him in my work league. I was quite happy about that performance. That's for sure.
A little surprised about the Patriots beating the Dolphins, but not too surprised because, again, there's some. Let's talk about that for half a second. Chances are better than 50-50 or worse than 50-50. Tyreek Hill doesn't make it to the trade deadline.
I think you see a full blow up of Miami before we get to the end of October.
Because to me, it's Hill.
Buffalo might score 70 on him on Thursday night.
They might.
Like, they might actually score 70 on him on Thursday night. And Tyreek Hill's probably going to be gone. I think they're going to fire McDaniels, the head coach, which, don't get me wrong, look, Mike McDaniels did some good things with Miami. Not great, but some good things with Miami over the last couple of years. But there are a lot of teams out there that are going to be looking for an offense coordinator next year, and they're not going to be upset to bring Mike McDaniels in to be an offense coordinator. The man, you could just tell from when he got to Miami to now, he got into the Miami life. I'm sorry, that man looks like he's partying every weekend. I guarantee he's walking around, like they banned smelling salts, right? Or the team supplying the smelling salts is what they banned. If Mike McDaniel's sniffing something during a game, it's not smelling salts.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's be honest, it's not smelling salts. But that man just looks like he is just not there, and I think the head coaching has just caught up to him, and it's not where he was meant to be. Right, and so
at first
I think
he
it's all
was the cool head coach who was relatable to the players, and everybody was on board. And now all of a sudden, the players ain't as happy, the team isn't going as well.
The losing is
and it's starting to pile up. But I think a big part of it is you got to get sometimes when people and players start becoming a cancer, whether it be the head coach or your star wide receiver. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just, like you said, blow it up, cut ties, and go from there. Because, I mean, listen, they still have talent around the roster. I mean, I think A-Chain's good. I think Waddle's good. I think Tua could be good if they could protect him. I just think that they need a guy who's running the ship a little bit tighter, and they don't have that right now.
I mean, looking at their schedule, I see 2 games they can win. That, like, I genuinely think they could win. At Carolina.
Oh, they could beat the Jets,
and
too.
I mean, listen,
let's the Jets did not look good this past weekend.
No, the Jets.
Let's be honest. They regressed from where they looked like week 1, where you were like, all right, there's some hope. Justin Fields balled out. They're running the ball well, whatever. They got absolutely smacked in the mouth by Buffalo. It was bad, and Buffalo's clearly the cream of the crop, and everybody else in the rest of the division is just I don't know why they're there.
I think we said this.
I'd be shocked almost if the Bills didn't just run through the division 6-0.
Oh, they definitely should, and I think if I had to bet money on it, I think they definitely will. But I think we touched on this. I think you could take the Jets, Dolphins, Patriots, and put together the best roster between the 3 of those teams, and I still don't think that team could beat the Bills. Right? Like, if you really sit there and you said, hey, like, let's take the best of the best from each team, pieced it together, because the problem is none of those quarterbacks can keep up with Josh Allen. Right? You can make a defense that can compete with the Bills' defense. You can make a wide receiver core that would actually probably be better than the Bills' wide receiver core, right? You can take the tight ends and the offensive linemen. You could probably come pretty damn close to being competitive with what the Bills put on the field. But Josh Allen, you could take the talents of all 3 quarterbacks in that division and combine, they're not what Josh Allen is. It's that simple. And that division is theirs, and barring any catastrophic injury, that division will remain theirs, and they'll clean sweep it.
You could say the same about the Ravens. To be honest, I think the AFC is top-heavy. Because you look at it, with Burrow now being out, I don't care about that 2-0 start. I'll take the Ravens at 1-1, even if the Bengals are 2-0, starting with Jake Browning. I'm sorry. I'll take the Ravens all day long. So I look at it as the Cleveland's no match for them.
No, and then that was proved on Sunday. It was a close game. And
I don't think this Steeler team is a match for them at all. Like, give me an old ass Aaron
Rodgers. The way
Rodgers
you've seen this defense play too? No.
And the Browns. Like, this to me is you have 2 out of the 3 divisions there, like, or 4 divisions there. Like,
here you want to know how good the Ravens are? The Ravens are known for running the ball. They scored 41 points and averaged 2.3 or 2.2 yards a carry. Derrick Henry had 11 carries for 23 yards. Lamar Jackson, 2 for 13. Justice Hill, 3 for 7.
But Lamar threw it, 4 TDs.
Cooper Rush, their backup quarterback, got 3 carries for -4 yards. 21 carries for 45 yards, with their longest carry being 11 yards, and they still scored 41 points. And if there's one thing you would say is pretty good, pretty decent about Cleveland, it's going to be their defense. And they still put those numbers up. Also, Mark Andrews, what a waste of a draft pick. Sorry.
He's not what he used to be, that's for sure.
He's killing me, man. He's killing me. But either way, yeah, no, Baltimore, I to your main point, I think the AFC is very top heavy. And you have a Kansas City team that's 0-2 and has not looked good.
They started slow last year, though, too. I don't care. Like, these first 4 weeks are preseason now. It is what it is. I expect by week 3, week 4, like these next couple of weeks, we're going to start seeing a better Chiefs team. And all of a sudden, they're going to be a 13 or a 12-5 team or a 13-4 team. We're going to look back and go, oh, well, the first 2 weeks,
I mean, they
didn't even really try.
Not to sound like a jerk, but like they do get a good rebound game this week against the Giants.
Yeah, they're going to win that game.
I mean, so that should help build up a little confidence and momentum in them. But overall in that division, I would say the Chargers are your best looking team right now. I mean, the Chargers made the Raiders look bad on last night. They made the Chiefs look bad last Friday. So, I mean, right now, if you're looking at these teams, like, or at that division specifically, I think the Chargers are your team right now. To say that, like, hey, like they could be the team that you're chasing for that division. And speaking of injuries, right? Washington, Jaden Daniels got hurt. Austin Eckler out for the year. You had who else went down? I think somebody else. Oh, Jones. I touched on Jones already. Oh, that's who I'm thinking.
Oh, Purdy went down too.
Purdy went down, but he got down after
in.
week 1, and Mac Jones came in and played this week. I'm dying all the people talking about how McCaffrey's sucking the life out of Kittle and Purdy and Ayuk and like all the players that are getting injured just so he could stay healthy this year. I thought that was pretty fun. And then not player related, but then you even had Sean McVay apparently tore his plantar fasciitis running on the sideline to go call a timeout or some shit during the game this week. Like, so we're full blown football, right? And like you said, to connect to the fact that we really are kind of living in how September is now the new August when it comes down to football, right? Like all these guys, right? Like they go straight from, just training camp practice, shorts and t-shirts to real game action against guys that, as a quarterback, right? You don't get the red jersey, right? Like you don't get that protection.
That's why the Giants, you can't just throw all the people calling for Jackson Dart already and being like, oh, he should be playing, and oh, look at that interception rush through, oh, get Dart in it. Let the man sit on the bench. Have you seen our offensive line? We're not there yet. We don't even have our best offensive line back from injury yet in Andrew Thomas. Until we can get the line squared away, Jackson Dart should not see the field.
I did like the read option package, though. I thought that was nice.
Honestly, a couple packages here or there, you want to put him in for a player 2, fine. But for the most part, protect the asset. You got Russ for 1 year. That's it. Beat him up if you got it. You've got 5 years of Jackson Dart. Do not screw him up year 1 by letting him get his ass kicked. It's not like it doesn't do anything. It's not a confidence builder to go in there. Go ahead and ask Derek Carr or some of these guys that got sacked 60, 70 times in their first year. Or 2 years, 3 years. David Carr. Not Derek Carr, but David Carr. I mean, when he was with the Texans, high prospect every year, but they couldn't protect the guy. Got smashed into the ground and was out of the NFL. Like, I don't want to see that happen to this kid. I don't want to see it happen to anybody. So take your time. Don't panic, Giants fans. This wasn't a winning season to begin with.
Yeah.
Like, this was a great, if we could win 7 games, that's a huge improvement from where our, 2 wins were last year or 3 wins were last year. It was awful. If we could double that, that's an improvement for this year. Let's focus on that and win the games that we should win or have a chance to win. Let's not focus on these games where, if it would have went this way or the ball would have bounced a different way. Keep playing hard, and then you'll find ways to win.
Well, yeah, and I agree.
Don't throw the kid in there to get. But my point is though, don't throw the kid in there to get beat up.
Give him his red shirt year, right? Like give him the red shirt year, roll with it. But no, I think we're 2 weeks in. I don't think you have any team that I would sit here and say, oh, they are the clear-cut favorite in the league right now, right? Philadelphia goes into Kansas City, beats Kansas City, yet it's the second game in a row where Jalen Hurts looked like nothing more than an average quarterback. The wide receivers, not much impact. The run game, they ran 7 tush pushes. Like that, they're basically like, hey, let's get it to 3rd and short, and then we'll just shove Jalen Hurts over the line of scrimmage, right? Let's get it to 1st and goal or whatever, and goal near the goal line. We'll shove Jalen Hurts over the goal line. Like that little video clip that they caught of Chris Jones and Jalen Hurts. Like to Jalen Hurts' point, right? Still gonna win the damn game whether you like it or not. Like we're gonna win the game. To Chris Jones' point, right? Like you're not. I have said this, and I will die on this hill, and I will never stop dying on this hill. I don't care. Good for you. You won a Super Bowl. Congratulations. You are a running back playing quarterback. Jalen Hurts as a quarterback does not scare me. Jalen Hurts as a runner scares me. And he does not, if he is a guy that is forced to stay in the pocket and try to pick a defense apart, I've said it for years, and he continues to prove me right. He cannot pick a defense apart. He is first read, throw the deep ball or the lob ball, dump off to your running back or your tight end, or run the ball. He's not a guy that can stand there and go read 1, read 2, fine, read 3.
But he doesn't have to be. That's not what they're bringing him in for. He doesn't have to be a pocket guy that stands there and goes through those progressions. He's got the tools to be able to be like, you know what? I don't like option 1. I'm taking it myself.
Exactly. And
we're close enough. I got a big enough body. I got big enough body.
Put your hands on my ass and shove me. I get it. I understand that, but he does.
This to me was like the argument people used to make against Vince Young. And like they'd be like, oh, he's a head case, he's that, he's whatever. But the thing was, the man just won football games. Doesn't matter if you liked him as a quarterback. Didn't matter if you thought he was the world's greatest back. It's the Tim Tebow thing. Didn't matter if you liked him as a quarterback. Doesn't matter if you think he could throw the ball or not throw the ball. The man won football games in the NFL. Won playoff games in the NFL, beating teams like the Steelers.
Playoff game, but yes, I get your point.
Won it with a pass, too. Just saying.
Rest in peace to Marius Thomas.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, people look at it. I don't care how my quarterback wins. I have a quarterback to win games. That's it. I don't give a shit if he's a stoic guy like, Y.A. Tittle, or if he's, running like Lamar Jackson. It doesn't matter. What matters to me is, do you win football games? And the thing that you can consistently look at from the time Jalen Hurts was in college, whether it was at Alabama or when he transferred to Oklahoma or when he's in the NFL now, the man wins football games. So I will all the time take a guy on my team as my quarterback who wins football games. I've always liked Dak Prescott. The one thing Dak Prescott never really done is won a ton of football games. Like, even in college, he was never the top team in the SEC playing coming out of Mississippi State. Great quarterback, good whatever. But watch him get his ass kicked by teams like Alabama. You know what I mean? Like, certain guys just win more than others.
Oh, no, and
those guys are the guys that I would choose. Like, so if you gave me the choice right now, I'm probably taking Hurts over Dak. And that's just my personal choice. But I would do that because who gives me the best chance to win? I think Jalen Hurts would give me a better chance to win right now. You go around the league, I think Jalen Hurts, outside of guys like Lamar or Patrick Mahomes or a few of them out there, like I don't see 5 or maybe he could be in my top 5 of quarterbacks I would pick because I want to win a football game.
Trust me, again, I will never take away the fact that the man helps win football games, but he's not the main reason they win football games. I say that because if you took Jalen Hurts, right, and you put him on the Cowboys, and you took Dak Prescott and you put him on the Eagles, what team is better?
Again, I would take the Cowboys because I think that the quarterback play out of Jalen Hurts is better than the
Eagles have a better offensive lineman. They have a better defense. They have a better run game. If you take Jalen Hurts and put him on other teams and put that quarterback on the Eagles,
they would find ways to win.
The team with the Eagles with whatever quarterback is going to do just as good.
I disagree.
It takes 22 men plus your special teams guys to win a football game.
But certain men move the needle. Guys like Tom Brady move the needle. There were years where they weren't the best team. They didn't have the most talent in the league. They didn't have.
Oh my God! I mean, he didn't have a good number 1 wide receiver until they got Randy Moss.
But that's what I mean. But yet all the man did was win. So it didn't matter how shitty people thought his roster was. Didn't matter how great you seem on paper. You have to find winners, and that's the one thing the Eagles went out and did. They found some winners. They found guys who could win football games, and Jalen Hurts happens to be one of them.
I just personally think more people could go to the Eagles and play quarterback and win like he wins than him going to more teams and getting those teams to there.
Winners win. He happens to be a winner. I'm just saying.
It's nice to disagree with you. We agree. We've been agreeing a lot so far.
No, but
our first
this is
couple
one
shows.
thing
So
I
it
will
is
like. You died on the hill before. I will die on the hill that I don't give a shit if he has the greatest arm or not for a quarterback. The man wins football games, and he's a leader of a team. Like, the man can lead a locker room of men. And that's what I look for in a starting quarterback. More than the ability to throw, more than the ability to dink dunk, throw it 75 yards. Doesn't the arm strength and all of that, yes, they're nice tools to have. But there's been plenty of guys who have come through the NFL with all the tools in the world and they never pan out. Why? Because they're not winners and they don't have good heads on their shoulder. You need those things in the NFL to be successful. Jalen Hurts has those things. So that's all I'm going to say. May not be your favorite, but the man wins.
He's a running back playing quarterback.
That being said, let's get into week 3 here.
Bill's just scoring 70. Give me the over.
We're not talking about Thursday night because it's not a shit show. It's not anything. It's just a game, and the Bills are going to dominate it. I mean, going into early Sunday, I mean, I'm going to start us off here because I know Fife sent us some picks too. I don't think this is one of his picks, but I'm going to keep calling it a shit show because I just don't believe in it.
That is his shit. If you're going the bottom of the screen, that's the shit show game of the week. He said.
No, I'm going with this one right here. I just don't believe. I do not believe in Daniel Jones. I do not believe in the Colts. Daniel Jones to me, guy, all the tools, not a winner. Didn't win. Didn't win in college. Didn't win in the pros. Not right now. He's 2-0. He's got something cooking with the Colts. They went into they beat Denver last week, which was interesting to me because that's a game to me where I'm like, if people are so high on Denver and Bo Nix and what they did last year, this to me, I think people need to understand that second-year regression is a thing. You can come in the league with all the hoopla like a Jaden Daniels or whoever, but you got to do it year after year, and that second year is always the hardest because that's when teams get taped. That's when they make all the adjustments.
We've talked about this a lot. To me, the third year is where you really know.
And that's where I don't think people have the right tape on Daniel Jones yet. Once the defenses figure out
where he actually has like an offensive line protecting him, receivers catching the ball, and a running back that can find holes and run.
Whoa! But you bite your tongue because he had the best.
No.
He had Saquon Barkley,
a running back that can get holes and run. Saquon didn't get any holes in New York.
No. Saquon was still the best thing in New York.
Saquon in New York with Barry Sanders.
And shout out to Saquon.
Detroit.
He's never going to hear this, but I know he said recently on an interview that he hopes that that saying "once a Giant, always a Giant" holds true. Although he knows that a lot of fans probably upset because he went to Philly and won a championship. I'm gonna say that. Once a Giant, always a Giant. You'll always be a Giant in my heart there, Saquon. So, I'm just throwing that out there.
All the Giant fans I know were rooting for him, even
getting back to this game. This game is shit. I don't care. Unless you're a Colts fan or a Titans fan, like, there's really no reason to watch this game.
Or you have Jonathan Taylor or Tony Pollard or...
Even if you do, it's still not
one
enough.
or two other guys between the two teams that you'd have on fantasy. Yeah. No, look.
This is a bad game.
I am definitely not sitting here sold on Daniel Jones. I am definitely not sold so far on Cam Ward. What I will say is that the Colts are the better team. Just roster-wise, right? Like, not because of one specific guy, just roster-wise. So I do think it's a division matchup. It's in Tennessee, on the road for the Colts. Titans started 0-2. I mean, are we picking this game or are we just calling it a shit show and moving on?
I'm just moving on.
All right.
I honestly have no desire to pick this game. This game is awful all around.
I'll just throw it out. I'll take the Colts going 3-0, but I'm going to take Titans getting the 3.5 because I think Indy wins by a field goal, and I'll take the under because I don't think either team's going to play that good.
I'm taking the over because there's something weird going on right now, so I don't know what it is, but...
It's preseason. The defenses are catching up.
But speaking of it, though, let's get to our first real shit show of the week.
Shout out to Fife.
Bengals at Vikings. I mean, it is, when you look at it, both starting quarterbacks go down.
You got Browning versus Wentz.
Awful. The only thing you could hope for as a Vikings fan is at least you're home. And maybe a little bit of stability with Wentz because at least he's got...
I do like the Vikings home field advantage, man. I do got to give them that. That clap that they got the whole crowd to do.
But is it going to be enough of an advantage? I don't know.
I have no idea what to expect.
I'm gonna take the Vikings just because I have more faith in Wentz than I have in
Jake Browning.
In Browning, but that's really the only reason. I mean, it's less than a field goal. I think this could be a field goal game. So give me Minnesota all around and give me the over because even though both teams' defenses are shaky at best, so give me the over.
Ugh. Give me Cincinnati getting the 2.5. I think they're going to start 3-0. Browning has more experience playing with his teammates than Wentz has playing with his teammates on the Vikings. I'll also go with you though on the over because this is one of those games where you're probably going to get like a pick six, right? A punt return or kick return for the touchdown. Real quick, by the way, kick returns, now that they changed it so that they get it on 35 for a touchback, are up to 78% of kicks are being returned compared to this time last year it was like 24%. So I understand some people don't like the new alignment, but for safety reasons, that's why the NFL's sticking with it.
Come on. Safety reasons. Does the NFL do anything for actual safety reasons?
But like the return, like seeing more kickoff returns
in the name of player safety.
Yeah, like seeing more kickoff returns
to stop concussions league wide. What a joke!
If they actually care, they make that protective helmet mandatory, but that wouldn't.
Everybody be
cool.
a bobblehead.
Yeah, that wouldn't look as cool. So you can't do that. But I'm gonna take Cincy, yeah, and I'm gonna take the over because of that. But I thought that was pretty cool to see the jump in kick returns, and you've had some pretty good ones so far this year. But for the people going to this game, how do you like tickets as low as $114? Like, I would go to this game. If you gave me the tickets for free, covered parking, bought my beer and my food. That's about the only way I would physically go to that game. And
the only way I would physically go is if I was actually a fan of one of these teams. But that would be the only way. Like, if I was in Minnesota, I'd be picking a bar or something to go to instead of, like, paying anything to go see this game. You could give me the tickets for free, but it's still probably going to cost me gas money or at least mass transit to get there. So I'm probably going to be like, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. And I would be okay with missing this game. It's, gonna be the shit show.
I think it's fair. I think it's fair to call it the shit show of the week.
Yeah.
So I definitely
that being said, what was his game of the week, though?
So Fife's game of the week was the one that I think a lot of people would choose as the game of the week, and that is, I believe, our Sunday nighter, or Monday night game with the Lions at Baltimore. Both teams with really nice bounce back wins against division rivals. Both teams scoring over 40 points. And I mean, I think so Fife took Baltimore winning the game at home against Detroit. I don't know what to think of Detroit, right? They smacked around their division opponent in week 2, right? At home. They look like complete and utter crap against Green Bay.
But again,
on the road.
Week 1, it's so hard to really be like, that's what the Lions. But
that's what I mean. Like, so I don't know what.
I think they're closer to week 2 than they are week 1.
I would agree with that, but I do think the change in coordinators has some level of impact for them. But I do think Dan Campbell is a guy that the team is fully bought into. With that said, I think Baltimore is a team that is going to look at how they ran the ball this past week and going to come out very determined to run the ball. So I think I don't think either team walks into this game really feeling great about themselves because of a disappointing week 1, a rewarding week 2, and realizing, hey, we still got a lot of areas to be better. But it's going to be the best pass rush it's probably going to be the best defense that Lamar's faced so far through 2 games, right? You take away Myles Garrett from that Cleveland defense, what are they really, right? You add Aiden Hutchinson back to this Lions defense, and they're a really good defense. But I think this is a really good game. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. I'm going to take Baltimore, I'm going to take Detroit getting the points, but Baltimore winning the game, and I will take the over. Over under 52.5. I'm going to take the over because I do think you see both teams scoring some points.
Yeah, I mean, I think both teams are going to score. I kind of agree with you there that I would take the Lions getting the points, but at the same time, it's just
It's a
so
hard
hard.
game to pick.
It's hard. It is hard because they're two very good teams, and they're two teams that should be towards the top of their conferences come the end of the season.
Like, to me, if this was
The
a
Ravens
basketball-
need it more because they're at home, and listen, you got to win the games you could win at home. To start 2-0 at home would be nice, especially against the Lions. So it's mainly because of the Ravens being home that I'm gonna pick the Ravens. So I'm gonna go the same way as you guys. I'm gonna go Lions getting the points. I'm gonna take Baltimore on the money line, and I'm gonna take the over.
I think if this was like a 7-game series, this would go 7 games.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I feel this is hard to pick, right? Because I really think, and like that's the joy of football, right? They only get the one matchup,
And that's
so you don't know.
that's where you don't know. Because both teams have good running games and way different quarterback play when you have Lamar Jackson, who's more of that dual threat, break the pocket, break contain.
Yeah.
And you have Goff, who's more of the stoic guy, but you have the playmakers in Montgomery and the playmaker in
Jameson Williams, Amon St. Brown,
Gibbs, Laporta.
people forget about Laporta. He had a really not bad, he just had a
off game,
low production year last year after an amazing rookie year. So people kind of forget, like, he is actually really freaking good.
So it was a clean sweep then. We all took the Ravens.
Yep, clean sweep there.
All right, so you got a game in mind or 2 games in mind? You got a shit show? You got anything?
I think really quick, please keep scrolling up because I think it's the only game this week. There it is. So we have 2 games this week where both teams are 2-0. One game I don't think anybody's really going to care about unless you're a fan of the teams, which would be Arizona and the 49ers. Division matchup, I get it, but no. Where you have a rematch of what a lot of people felt was the potential. Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting that. Like, I got to lean this way. I'm leaning towards the mic, camera, whatever. Anyway, so, like, a rematch of what a lot of people felt whoever won this game was probably going to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
With the Rams at Philly. And I think they match up very well with each other. But looking at this game, looking at how the teams have played so far, I think it could go either way, right? Philly's offense has not been anything amazing so far this year. Their run game, they're averaging less than 100 yards, or right a little less than 100 yards a game. They're barely averaging over 100 yards passing per game. Defense has made some good plays throughout the first 2 games. The Rams have had an up and down, right? They look good in week 2. They looked pretty good in week 2, I believe. Looked in week 1, but came away with the win. I think you're looking at a really good matchup there. Our Louis Aussie dude is starting to get a little jealous. He hears the voices but can't see us. We love you, Louis. You're good, my boy. Yeah, you're good. I know. You're picking games. Who do you want, Philly or the Rams? Philly or the Rams, huh? I'm gonna take the Eagles at home. I think the Eagles really are probably the best team in the NFC, and I think you're gonna continue to see that show itself at 1:00 on Sunday. But give me the Rams getting the 3.5 because I think it's another close game for Philly. I think you're over. I'll take the under actually in this game. Over under 44.5. I'll take the under. And I'll take the Rams getting the 3.5, though I think Philly actually comes out. What's it, the money line? I'm not a gambler here, so I don't know what it yet. So we're going money line, give me Philly, but I'll take the Rams getting 3.5, and I'll take the under.
I think Philly's a better team. I'm not hating on the Rams, but I just think that Philly. I just think Philly's above and beyond a better team. I'm gonna take Philly all around. Give me Philly on the money line. Philly with the points, and I'm going the over in that game though. I like the over
All right.
this week.
Take the over.
And then I gotta be honest, there's a game right there that I'm gonna call it as a shit show, because if you don't win this, I gotta be honest, like I would be absolutely embarrassed for you. So I'm gonna make you pick it. The Cowboys at the Bears, because at some point the Bears have got to win. Otherwise, Ben Johnson's already gonna be on a hot seat. And for the Cowboys, I mean, the Cowboys are. Oh, it's gonna be fun.
Nothing like a puppy, ladies and gentlemen. They love the attention. They love the fun. Purest hearts of them all. If I die and come back, let it be as a dog to a loving home. I'll take it every day.
Right? But yeah, no. So, but speaking of people that want to go to a loving home, I don't know if that home will be in Dallas if they lose this week, because everybody will be out there.
You know, this is the game of the week.
For who?
In the NFL, this is listed as the game of the week. For the day games, this is considered game of the week.
No, this is awful. This is terrible. And that being said, I just can't see. Chicago's favored in this game.
Yeah.
Give me the Cowboys getting the points. Give me the Cowboys overall. Give me the under, though, because I don't think either of these teams are going to be too explosive on offense.
See, unless weather impacts the game, I think the over is easy to hit. Both defenses suck. It's really like both defenses are not good. Like I said before.
Yeah, but a 27-24 game is still the under.
Yeah, I definitely.
Or no, that's just barely the over.
I definitely could see it going beyond that. Both defenses suck.
Yeah, but I just think last week was an anomaly. Like, I don't see the Cowboys putting up close to 40 again.
I think they can. And I think the Bears can too. Like, Dallas's defense sucks. But I have to believe they're better than the Bears. Right? Dak Prescott has to be better than Caleb Williams. He has to be. Run game wise, DeAndre Swift, Javonte Williams, Offensive line wise, what hurts Dallas, their starting center out 6 to 8 weeks. Chicago just their one of their starting cornerbacks is out for the season after a groin injury. I'm taking the over, but I will take Dallas just because I have to believe that they are a better team than the Chicago Bears. And if they lose this game, don't feel bad for me. Just be like the Packers and say thank you, Jerry Jones. Like, because it all goes back to him. So that's my 2 cents. I mean, you got the defense coordinator returning, right? So, you know, how well does he know Caleb Williams' tendencies? Well, he couldn't help develop the guy, so I don't think he knows crap about Caleb Williams. So, but yeah, I'm gonna take Dallas and I'm gonna take the over. When I found out Chicago was favored by 1.5, I'm like, that just hurts. Right? That just hurts, right? You get 3 points automatically for being the home team, so I guess they're technically saying, well, we're gonna swing it to 1.5. But they're still saying Dallas isn't a field goal bet. Like, it's just, oh God, it's going to be a long year.
I think we got to pick this other 2-0 game versus 2-0 game.
You don't want to pick the 0-2 Sunday night game?
We could pick them both.
All right.
We could pick them both, but I mean, I feel like the Sunday night game might be more of a sweep than where we may go with the Cardinals and the 49ers. 49ers, again, going to be starting Mac Jones.
McCaffrey's still healthy.
Still healthy, given 1.5, but nobody else really healthy there.
No.
They're in rough shape there, the 49ers, but look good under Mac Jones this past week. Cardinals, surprise 2-0 team. Nobody's got much faith in them, so the fact that they're 2-0, good for them, but they've got to come down off of that cloud at some point, right? So, I mean, which of these two are moving to 3-0? I mean, they did beat two terrible teams.
So bad. Like, arguably, the two teams are going to be fighting for the number 1 draft pick.
But you need to win the games you're supposed to win, and they're doing that.
You play the schedule they give you.
Exactly. So, that being said, though, give me Mac Jones and the 49ers at home with a healthy McCaffrey still. I think they get it done 3-0. They look like the leaders in that division so far, but I'm waiting. I think Seattle's got a chance to maybe rise up and catch them. Also,
Take
is in
advantage
the
of the
Rams
injuries.
too, 2-0.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that being said, it's an interesting matchup, but one I don't think the Cardinals are going to be able to sustain. So, give me the 49ers. Give me them given a 1.5, and give me. I almost want to say under.
Look, I'll tease what I'm doing. I'm taking the under.
All right, I'm going to go over then.
All
I'll
right.
go a little different than you. I'm going to go over. Give me San Fran all around.
So then I'll continue. We'll continue the being different because I'm going to take Arizona.
Really?
I think Arizona is the healthier team. And if there's one thing you can say about the division matchups that they have out in the NFC West, they're usually battles, even when both teams are healthy. But Arizona's got their starting quarterback. San Francisco doesn't. Arizona, yeah, they beat two really bad teams, but they still won the games, right? You including a road win in New Orleans, which no matter how bad New Orleans is, winning in New Orleans is never just some walk in the park. So I'm going to take Arizona, and I'm going to take the under because I think it's a defensive slugfest, and I think that Arizona's offense manages to make one or two more plays than San Francisco can. So give me Arizona and the under. So we will go complete opposite directions on that one. And our last pick of the day,
Yeah, it's got to be.
Chiefs at the Giants.
0-2 Chiefs, but they're not really an 0-2 team. Given 6.5 in New York. To be honest, the fact that we even have a Sunday night game is pretty incredible, being as bad as they've been in the last decade. That being said, I think it's just because people like seeing Mahomes in prime time, so I'm okay with that too. I think this is the bounce back game the Chiefs have been looking for. I think this is a game where you have to get after Mahomes. If they could do that, the Giants, may be able to make it interesting. But in the end, I think KC is just overall the better team right now. So give me KC. Give me KC laying the 6.5. And give me the over 45.5 because right now the Giants defense looks like they might be on roller skates. So until they can get that squared away, give me the over.
I'm also going to take Kansas City, but I'm going to not take them giving the 6.5. I actually think the Giants keep this a close game. Just from what I think that game against Dallas was a nice confidence boost for the offensive line. I mean, that they brought in the rookie left tackle to take over for the jackass that had 35,000 penalties on the first drive of the game, and that kid pretty much pitched a shutout. Like, I think he gave up like 2 pressures the rest of the game, gave up 0 sacks. Like that's a hell of a confidence booster. There is a chance Andrew Thomas comes back this week as well. And I think the Giants built some confidence. They realized that if we can execute, run the ball, Scatterboo, right? That kid, he looked pretty good. Tracy's their receiving threat out of the backfield.
Scatterboo is going to be a 3-down back in a year or two, man. He's good.
I think the Giants can keep it close, and that pass rush is going that pass rush will cause some headaches for Patrick Mahomes. I just don't know who on the back end. The Chiefs really don't have a lot of receiving threats that make you nervous, but Mahomes is a quarterback that has literally zero problem running a 15-play drive.
We've always had problems containing the tight end, though. And they have one of the better tight ends in the league.
I mean, they have a future Hall of Famer at tight end. This is probably his last run, especially with, getting married to...
They arguably have 2 of the greatest 3 tight ends ever.
With Tony Gonzalez as well, yeah.
I mean, outside of that, you look at Gronk.
Yeah, Gronk. I mean...
Antonio Gates.
Antonio Gates. You can go back in the day to Kellen Winslow Sr., not Kellen
or
Winslow that we got.
We got back here.
I
on
mean,
the wall.
you can go back in the day, but of recent, especially over the last 25, 30 years, no question about it. I mean, look, I'm a huge Jason Witten fan. He was one of the best all around tight ends, but Jason Witten didn't strike fear in you like a Tony Gonzalez
was really the first receiving tight end I remember.
He was a problem. But yeah, so I'm gonna take the Giants getting the 6.5 points. So I think Kansas City wins money line. And I'm gonna take give me the over. Why the hell not? Give me the over.
Root for some points.
Let's get some points.
Let's do it. That being said, I don't know if anybody threw anything in the chat while we were talking, but if they did, shout out to anybody who joined us.
Shout out to Carl, Marissa Doobie. I missed Doobie. I didn't get into the chat right away, so I apologize for that, Marissa. But Carl throwing it out there. Giants going to get with a real pissed off Chiefs team. But let's not act like the Giants aren't going to go in this game pissed off too. They had that game. They could have ended a 8-game losing streak to the Cowboys, losing 13 out of the last 14 or something like that. Like
last time that the Giants won in Dallas was Eli beating Dak in his first game there.
Yeah,
that was when they opened the stadium and
he signed the locker room. Yeah,
so,
I still hated that moment. But Dak's rookie year, 0-2 against the Giants, hasn't lost to him since.
But
this is his 10th season.
He hasn't faced Eli since.
This is very true. He's been blessed with Daniel Jones.
Eli is underrated, and I'm going to go to my grave saying that I will die on the hill that Eli is one of the most underrated quarterbacks of all time.
I was just right. He wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a second ballot Hall of Famer. He's getting in next year. No question about it.
He should have been a first ballot.
He was a 500 quarterback.
No, he was better than that. He was a 2-time Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
Two-time Super Bowl
his
winner.
His playoff runs were second to none. They were amazing.
I would take him
run.
over a Romo or Dak any day because at least he brought championships. So again,
that 07 run,
championships are what get you in to the Hall, in my opinion. Unless you're just like somebody
a 500 quarterback with 500 with a 50-50
No, because that's not true. Because otherwise, you'd have guys like Rex Grossman and other stupid guys who've no, those guys aren't that good.
No, they're not.
Eli top 10, but when he retired, firmly in the top 10 in receiving or passing yards all time. Iron Man for games played. It's not like he just was,
Eli Manning,
that Iron Man thing is a serious record.
We've talked about this. He is a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's just not a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback.
That's just because you're a hater.
No, it's because I was right.
But you're right in the same way that Jeter never deserved an MVP. Of course he did. There were years that Jeter's numbers were there, but there is a New York media bias. There is. And people don't like to root for people or vote for people in New York. Happened to Eli, and it happened to Jeter. Like I said, there was one jackass out there who didn't even put Jeter down as a Hall of Famer. And it was clear as day to everybody who's ever seen the sport of baseball.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I remember that was a huge thing.
You will always have those people. So
thing.
because of that, that's why he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, because those people in life
he's not
exist.
a first ballot Hall of Famer because he had a 500 record as a starting quarterback. He threw as many interceptions as he did touchdowns in the regular season. That's why he was not a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is a Hall of Fame quarterback. He will get his numbers next year.
So top 10 passing all time doesn't deserve
but
to be
he's
in.
not.
He was.
He was, but
when
he's
he retired,
not.
He was top 10.
Yeah, and then
so what, now he's 11th?
So
now he's 11th, he's
window.
not 10th, he's 11th? And because he's 11th, this is like when you were arguing against Strahan. You're like, Strahan's not even in the top 10. The man had to come out and tell you, I guess top 5 isn't in the top 10.
Where's Eli Manning? Come tell me I'm wrong, Eli. Come on, let's get the hype.
You had this same bullshit argument when it was Strahan in 2012. You got the same bullshit argument in 2025.
But the difference in 2012 was I was wrong about the stats.
No.
I am not wrong about Eli Manning's stats.
You are wrong about Eli's stats.
He went on 2 amazing runs in the playoffs. That 07 run will never be matched.
Those
that was
runs in the
unbelievable.
playoffs, his yardage, his everything, not just because the defense was the defense, his yardage, his passing, all-time numbers as far as playoffs go.
Yeah, and when it's all said and done, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He just wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer.
And that makes you as a Cowboy fan happy. For some
it doesn't make me happy.
Sadistic, weird reason, it puts a smile on your face.
Why would a 500 quarterback get in as a first ballot?
Because he won 2 championships.
And he won 2 Super Bowl MVPs. That is amazing. But he didn't do it alone.
But he did.
If Tyree hits,
if we didn't have him at quarterback, we're not winning.
If Tyree drops that catch, they don't win that Super Bowl.
We don't win without Eli at quarterback.
No,
we don't win.
You also don't win without Bradshaw and Jacobs in 07.
Yes,
you don't win without that NASCAR package. You guys held the number 1 offense of all time to 14 points. Eli Manning had nothing to do with that.
He had something to do with winning the game late in the fourth quarter, though. Did he not have the big drive late in the fourth quarter?
He got out of that pocket.
Burris, baby.
He got out of that pocket, and Tyree made a catch that if you did it 1,000 times, probably only happens that one time.
Doesn't matter if it happens once or 1,000 times.
But Tyree made the catch. Eli got out of the sack. That is amazing.
People draped on him. His jersey getting pulled.
His jersey wasn't getting pulled when he threw the ball. His jersey got pulled when he got out of the sack.
You want to downplay it.
No, you want to glorify your hero that brought you 2 Super Bowls.
Exactly.
I am strictly talking facts.
He should be glorified.
That's it. I am not blinded by the aura of the 2 Super Bowls.
You are.
I am strictly talking facts.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I love you. I love you.
You're spewing the facts of a hater. You're not giving any of the positive facts.
I love you. Shout out to Carl. Haters hate.
There's a million stats out there that would point to him being a Hall of Famer. You pick out the 1 or 2 that shows that he may be
wins and losses, touchdowns and interceptions. The 2 most important stats for a quarterback are what I pick. How am I picking off the wall stats?
Brett Favre, all-time leader in interceptions. You're going to tell me
he wasn't 1-1. Eli was 1-1. He threw as many touchdowns as interceptions.
Doesn't matter.
How's it not matter?
Because if you look, they're pretty close.
2 touchdowns compared to 1 interception or 1 touchdown to 1.
It wasn't 2-1 if you look at Favre's stats. And Favre won 1 championship, not 2. And you're telling me Favre belongs to be in there over Eli? I'm going to tell you, I don't think so. Go look at the stats. Eli's got more passing yards. He's got a better he's got at least as good, if not around the same touchdown to interception ratio, less interceptions than Brett Favre. And you're going to sit here and tell me that, because Brett Favre won a couple more regular season, not championships, but a couple more regular season games, that he's a better quarterback.
When did I mention Brett Favre?
I'm mentioning him because he was a first ballot. So
Brett Favre set the NFL record for the most touchdown passes in an NFL career.
He also set the record for most interceptions in a career.
And it still was 2-1. Eli was 1-1.
I'm sorry.
He threw the same amount of touchdowns as he threw interceptions. He was a 500 quarterback.
He won 1
Brett
championship.
Favre led his team to more wins than losses.
But again, you can't have your cake and eat it too. So if it's not Eli winning the championships, but yet it's Eli for all those losses that you keep counting against him, then which is it?
Oh my
which
God.
is it?
Every time we have this conversation, Eric,
you can't count
he is a Hall of Fame quarterback. Listen to the fucking words I'm saying. He's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes, he is.
Oh my God.
The stats are there for it.
All right. Yeah, the stats are there to prove that he's not. He had 2 amazing Super Bowl runs.
That's not true.
Amazing.
He had many other good years too.
Yes, and he had many other bad years.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
There was never a year he was below the top half of the league. He was never a bottom of the league quarterback.
He missed the playoffs more times than he made the playoffs.
So would most Dallas quarterbacks.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
So does Dak. So does a lot of other great quarterbacks out there. There's a lot of quarterbacks who miss.
What does that have to do with anything?
Phillip Rivers, any of them out there.
I am telling you why he wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm not telling you he's not a Hall of Famer.
You're making excuses.
No, I am telling you realistic statistical reasons he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
No, you're not.
He is a Hall of Fame quarterback.
You say 2 stats. There's a million stats
The 2
out
most
there.
important stats for a quarterback.
Championships aren't important. MVP,
2 most
championship
important
MVPs
stats.
aren't important.
Wins versus losses. Touchdowns versus interceptions. When you look at a quarterback and you rate them, those are 2 of your most important stats for a quarterback.
Not true.
Winning a Super Bowl is a team thing. You don't win that 07
Winning and
Super
losing
Bowl
games
without
are a team thing.
Yeah, but nobody gives a shit about that during the regular season, do they?
What are you talking
Nobody
about?
ever talks about that.
You can't tell me that you can't sit here and tell me
Eric,
that the losses matter. The losses matter, but the big wins didn't.
You literally are just choosing to hear what you want to hear me say.
No,
if
I
you
hear
look
you
at
say
this from an unbiased perspective and remove
unbiased.
the aura of his 2 Super Bowls.
But this is what I mean is you can't do it because you're seeing it through the Cowboy lens.
I'm not. I'm looking at it as a fan of football. He was an average regular season quarterback. I've said it for 15 years.
Outside of super fans, nobody cares about average regular season. Nobody pays attention to the regular season.
All right,
Nobody's going back and listening to the stats.
You're pissing me the fuck off, dude. You're not listening to what I'm saying.
I am.
No, you're fucking not, dude. You're pissing me the fuck off. You're not listening to what I'm trying to say to you.
But I am. All right. Anyway, I guess that's going to be it for the stream tonight. We're just not going to. We're going to have to agree to disagree on this one. I just, but Until next week, join us.